Our next speaker is one of my favorite coaches here at Neptune High School. Wait, why are you getting up, Dawn? Not next. Oh, you think it's you? It is Dawn. Come on up, Dawn. She's passionate about her craft, has a wonderful positive outlook, and is motivated to make a difference in the lives of our student athletes here at Neptune High School. Please welcome class of 2009 Hall of Famer, Coach Dawn Bowles-Boone.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming out for this awesome evening. This next lady, you know, she really don't need any introduction. I didn't even prepare a speech. I'm not going to talk about her accolades, because all you have to do is Google her, and you'll be there for weeks and months looking at her accolades. What I want to do is share a little bit about her that I know you don't know. When I first met her, I was volunteering here at Neptune. I wasn't a coach yet. And her mom asked if I could come and help her out. And actually it was her other two sisters, her older sister Jade and her younger sister Brietta. And we met over at the Asbury track. And when I saw them, I didn't know what they looked like because I never met them. And all I saw was hair, just hair for days. And I was like, these are girls with hair, you sure they can run? But she said, yeah, they can run. So I met her, and I was like, wow, they're really good, all of them. They're going to Neptune, right? Oh, wow, okay. So I knew they were coming up the pipe, and I said they, because all three of them ran. So moving forward, I became the head coach at Neptune. And I realized that Ajee was coming to the high school in another year. No, actually she came that year, and I started panicking. I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Because she had a previous coach in Keith Davis, who is here. She had another coach, Rob Joyner, who were distance coach. I'm a sprint coach who knew nothing about distance. I was calling Keith and Rob almost every day. Like, what am I going to do? I don't think I can do this. I don't want to damage her. I don't want to ruin her. So they gave me some workouts. I even called some of my friends, some of my old teammates at LSU, because I was like, this girl is going to be beyond anything you've ever seen, and I really don't want to mess this up. So they gave me some information, but I still wasn't confident, so I got every runner's magazine I could find. True story. And I'm going through the workouts, and I'm like, wow, this is what distance runners do? This is marathon stuff. So I actually called her mom, and I said, I got some workouts, but I don't know, I think it's too much for her. And her mom said, oh, she got lungs for days. She'll run it, don't worry about her. I said, you sure? I gave her a 2-mile workout, and I was like, oh, well, we'll cut it down to a mile. I think that's too much, because I'm a sprint coach. I think anything over 200 was too much. But this girl handled these workouts like nothing else. Now, with that being said, we all know she won many state championships. Ajee was the type of girl, because she did so much and she ran so well, she ran just to win. Why do I have to exert myself? Why? So she ran to win because she did so much, and we agreed to it. When, I think it was what year was it? 2011, 2012? They made a rule for us. They didn't say Neptune, they didn't say Ajee Wilson, but they made a rule for us. And the rule was, you cannot win a state championship unless you have a full team. It was in NJSIA. And I was reading this like, what? And one of the officials came over to me and said, Dawn, that you know, this just isn't right. She won the 400, she won the 800, she won the 16, she's on your mile relay. And she was like, this is not right, this can't be a chicks championship. I said, I had a sprinter in there. Like, I had a long jumper. Like, when I was in high school, we won our state championship with 3 people. So I was like, I don't understand. So the following year, the rule went into effect. You needed a full team, and we were short some people, so we didn't win. But we didn't win because we were short the points. Because had we won, I would have fought for those points. But that's just to show you the greatness that Ajee is. She's one of the greatest that probably will ever come through Neptune. So with that being said, moving on, we get to I would have to say one of the greatest moments of my coaching career when it came to Ajee. I'm training her, and I'm looking at my stopwatch, and she doesn't know this, but I was always nervous. I'm like, oh my God, she is really running this workout, her 800. Whew, I call her mom. I'm like, Tanya, I think your daughter may run one of the greatest times in high school history. She said, you think so? I said, girl. So we go to Montauk, Canada, which is junior youth championship. I forgot, world championship, youth world championship. We go to Montauk, Canada, and her first 400 lap, she ran 57:58 and got nervous as heck, and because she thought it was too fast. And so she kind of slowed down. She took second. She didn't run that fast as she wanted to. She ran, it was still fast. She ran a 2:03. And her mom's like, what happened? What are you doing? She was like, I think it was too fast and I didn't want to get tired. I knew she could do it, but what she don't know is that she was running these times at practice for weeks and weeks. That's what got me nervous, because I'm like, oh my gosh. So moving on, she was mad. When she gets mad, look out. So a week later, we go to nationals in North Carolina. And her mom asked this question. She said, do you think she can run too flat? I said, ooh. I said, yeah, I really do think she can. That's why I'm nervous. So she didn't run the open 800. She ran the 1,600 meter relay. It was a 200, 200, 400, 800. She got the baton fourth because she was 800 runner. And we were in fourth or fifth place. And Miss Ajee ran a perfect split 800 race, 60-60. She ran 2 minutes flat. The announcer was more excited, well, no, because I almost choked myself, if her mom remember. I had my stopwatch, and I was like, she did it! But the announcer said she had ran the fastest time any high school has ever ran in the nation, was a 2 flat. She didn't do, and they said either open 8 or a relay. She ran the fastest. That was one of my greatest moments because I was not a distance coach. And I was shocked as ever, and she really made me very proud of that. One of the other things that I wanted to mention was that she is a loving person. She has friends from high school that are still her best friends to this day, and they used to call each other. They used to have this little clique called the DC Crew, and it was always the DC Crew against the sprinters. And we always wanted to see who could be the better runner. And, you know, of course, the distance runners always outran us. And one of their teammates, Mira, always said, faster you run, faster you done. So that's how close they were with her. So without any further ado, I want to introduce, she will always be my baby, Ajee Wilson.
Pasco to give a speech. Thank you so much to everyone involved in nominating me for this induction. It's really an honor. When I found out I was being inducted, I was super surprised, and while I'm usually pretty chill about some stuff, I was excited because I remember coming here in 2014 to the Hall of Fame induction, and I was supporting the late and great Mr. Steve McDuffie, and I sat in the back, and it was so inspiring to hear about his career, and I left feeling inspired, but also a little bit like, dang, I don't think I'm ever gonna get to be inducted to the Hall of Fame because I didn't technically go to school here. So I'm glad that that's not a thing, because I'm super honored to be able to have this honor. Sorry, guys. When you think about Neptune track and field, you think about legacy and tradition, and I'm thankful to have had examples before me. Throughout middle school and high school, I heard of Dreer Young and Corey Nouns, Corey Wright, who came right before me, and so many history lessons from Mr. Chambers and other coaches of the incredible track athletes that came before me. I also had the privilege of being personally coached and mentored by Neptune greats, Mr. Chambers and Coach Dawn. Ms. Dawn held my hand, and she also kicked my butt when I needed it. Ms. Dawn ran collegiately at LSU and professionally thereafter, and she was the perfect person to coach me in high school. We started working together when I was in 8th grade, and she saw the potential in me before I even saw it in myself. She also foreshadowed what more the sport had to offer me. I remember her telling me Croatia was one of her favorite places to race as a professional, and it was a very special milestone for me when I finally made it there to compete a few years ago. Arguably the most pivotal point in my high school career, which she kind of touched on, was competing in the World Junior Championships in Moncton, Canada. This was my first taste of international competition, and it was the first time I competed and I actually felt a fire and passion for running. It was also the first time I really had to dig deep. Originally, I didn't even want to waste my summer still training, but Ms. Dawn encouraged me. She gave me massages and toughed it out throughout the hot summer training by herself. I competed and got 6th, and for the first time, I actually felt hungry and eager to get back to that level and try to win. Ms. Dawn, I'll forever love you and will eternally be grateful for all that you've done for me. I didn't know he was going to be here tonight, but I also want to acknowledge Coach Keith Davis, woohoo, who, in addition to Coach Joyner, one of my first coaches in track and field, and he's taught me lessons that to this day I still think about and still use when competing, so thank you, Coach Keith. There's a saying that we are who we are because of the hard work of all the people who came before us, and I'd also like to add we are who we are sometimes because of the people who are right there working with us. So I want to give a big shout out to all of my teammates over the years who've made my career such a great one. The family bond we shared taught me so much about teamwork, hard work, and even how to be a leader. And to this day, my teammates, the DC crew, and Block Street, which is a sprinter group, they're still some of my closest friends who have now become family. They join the likes of my actual family, who've been there for me from my very first steps to my very first steps on the track. I'm so thankful to my parents, first of all, for moving to Neptune because they went to Asbury Park, so in another time, I would be a Blue Bishop. They've been my biggest supporters and guides throughout this journey, and I feel so blessed to have them in my corner always. My siblings, who were my first competitors, Zachary, Jade, and Brietta, they taught me how to get back up when I was knocked down and fine-tune my competitive spirit. Being the middle child, being able to compete on the same teams as all of my siblings and cheer them on and have them cheer me on was very special. Winning state titles with both of my sisters, my freshman and senior year, were easily the top of my list as favorite high school memories. Congratulations to all the other inductees, and thank you. It's an honor to be amongst this class.